What is going on, guys? It is Tom here, aka Funky Garventure, and today we are going to be beginning episode 2 of the Minecraft Vanilla Series 1. So we have got lots to do today. The really big aim is to kind of start building up that village a little bit more, and also see if we can start looking at transporting some villagers over into our new village. So let's see how things go. But of course, before we get into anything fun like that, there are a couple of chores that we need to do, including tending our wheat farm, which now actually entertains the likes of carrots and potatoes that we managed to pick up from that village that we saw in the last episode. So growingly, we are getting more and more cultured with our various vegetables. Alongside that as well, off camera, there are a few things that I do off camera, but off camera we also added a set of farms as well. We added a sheep farm, we added a cow farm, and a pig farm as well, just to really get lots and lots of resources. Of course, you know, we're going to need cows for leather and for steaks. I mean, steaks are a brilliant food item, but we also need the leather as well, so that we can make books and subsequently bookshelves, so that we can look at those higher level enchantments. Pigs, I mean, pigs are good because, you know, pork chops are a really good alternative to steaks as a means of replenishing food bars a lot quicker than other foodstuffs. And for sheep, you know, mutton is sort of all right as a food item, but more importantly, you know, it'll be for things like wool. And the reason why we're going to need the wool is for, you know, all sorts of things really, whether it's beds for villagers when we get them transported, or for, you know, item frames, for paintings when we start making bigger builds and we need to decorate the interiors. These sheep are going to play a really vital part in a more decorative and you know, sort of aspect, but also practically as well with the villagers. So yeah, that is what we have to do first, and let's see where things take us from here. So now something else that I really wanted to do was also do some more branch mining as well, and really kind of replenish things like coal supplies, mostly really. The reason I wanted to replenish coal supplies is that so we could use our auto furnace and smelt loads and loads of cobblestone, so we'd have loads of stone bricks that we could make from the stone that we end up smelting as well, because stone bricks for me are probably one of my most used sort of core building block items for that. Now, something else I also wanted to build up on as well was iron for a number of reasons really at this stage. For me, the two big things that I like to build with iron, one is an anvil, which requires, I think it is about 31 iron ingots in total, because you require 3 iron blocks, which is 9 apiece, which would be 27, and then you need 4 iron ingots as well, which brings that to 31. And then also iron as well for a lot of other things, whether it be armor or predominantly hoppers, in all fairness. Hoppers I use quite a lot for lots of farms and stuff like that as well. So yeah, we had lots of things we wanted to do. As you can see there as well, I decided to actually die by somehow letting go of my creep button, so I kind of fell into lava really, which was not ideal. At this point I think things got barbecued, but let's sort of skip that point, and what we'll do is we'll time-lapse everything that comes into play here and see what sort of resources we can get. So see you guys soon. Okay, guys, I couldn't help but stop the time lapse there. I knew it had been going on for a few minutes, but I stumbled across some cobblestone weirdly sticking out the wall. Now, you know what this usually means when you come through, and yes, it is a spawner, something we don't see very often, so I thought I'd take the time to kind of go through this in a little more detail. I mean, it just kind of stuck out. Usually with a spawner, like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really tend to just sort of see them sticking out like this. I usually will hear a noise in the background and then I dig my way towards where the noise is. This one was literally in plain sight, so I figured, you know what, let's go in there. It was a skeleton spawner, so it obviously is a little bit trickier to kind of work your way around. So I made sure that I was quite precautious in terms of making my way in there. And then when we noticed that the skeleton numbers had reduced slightly, we make our way in there and try and get those torches on that spawner as quickly as possible, because I was losing health quite quickly. But once we had done that, the torches there will stop the spawns, and we can freely raid the chest. So we ended up actually getting some pretty good things. You got melon seeds, gunpowder, iron ingots, wheat. I think there was a name tag in there as well, and some gold ingots as well. So some pretty okay loot. You know, not the best. I think the golden horse armor may have been one of the better items from those chests there. And then what I decided to do once we'd done that was actually note down the coords as well, because there could be a point where this spawner could be really, really helpful in future. I have full intentions to actually make a mob drop experience farm, which will be in the overworld. But with this, we could maybe look at creating skeleton farms below ground so that we can harvest things like bones and arrows really, really quickly. Bows as well. I mean, you know, bows might even become handy at some point for whatever reason, but majority at this stage, until we get to the point of getting infinity on a bow, obviously we're going to need lots and lots of arrows to make sure that basically the bow stays in play. So at this point, a skeleton farm might actually be a pretty good idea. Also picked up some more iron that was sort of sitting pretty as well alongside, and I'm sure you noticed just a second ago we actually reaped some diamonds as well. So really everything was actually going on within this sort of this spawner radius, which is insane, which is really, really good. So after that, what I decided to do was pick up one of the chests and drop that so that we could put all of our new loot into the chest. And as you can see on here, we pulled some really, really good stuff. You got diamonds there, we got iron ingots, gold ingots, loads and loads of coal as well, which is really, really important at this point. And, you know, and a few other bits as well, obviously that golden horse armor and stuff as well. But yeah, so that pretty much concludes sort of the majority of the branch mining that I wanted to do today. But let's continue and see where things take us now. Now, following a lot of branch mining a bit earlier on today, I decided it was probably time for us to have a bit of a break from all of that, which is why you see me terraforming here. The reason why I'm actually terraforming this area and making it nice and flat is to actually begin the sort of the preliminary construction process of building a storage room or a storage tower, storage building, whatever you sort of want to call it. Now, the aim with this building is to kind of make it into somewhat of sort of like a circle, I suppose, and with like sort of a 1 point sort of central block as well, from which we can build sort of like a really nice peaked roof. That's the ultimate aim. I'm not like an amazing roof builder by any stretch of the imagination, but the aim is to kind of have a go at it and see if we can, see if we can turn it into something quite good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly speed this up just so you can sort of see the shape that I'm kind of going for on here, and this will hopefully give you guys a bit of an idea into sort of my I suppose my thought processes in terms of building this. So sit back and enjoy. Okay guys, so after a little bit of construction around the storage room, I hope you kind of now get a slight better idea as to sort of what the intentions are with this building here. As you can see, I'm a little bit distracted at this point. We had quite a few viewers on the stream. It sort of all happened in one go, really, which was very, very cool, but also did sidetrack me a little bit. But as you can see there, that is the sort of the starting stages of the storage building that we want to create. Now, in future episodes, you will see that get a bit closer to completion and then full completion thereafter as well. So we have got a lot of work to do, but I just wanted to sort of show you guys what's kind of happening with that at the moment as we begin to start shaping the town. But right now, I think what we want to continue doing is, now we've had a break from the branch mining to do that, I think it's probably time we best returned back to branch mining and seeing what we come across. So let's see how things unfold. Alright, so we have returned back into a very unusual cave that is occupied by one very special guest here, Mr. Creeper. Unfortunately, he didn't live too long to see what happened, but I figured this part would be worth showing because I wanted to return to a mine shaft that I saw briefly in the last episode. I think I probably didn't put that part in there because we literally got in there, got attacked by a cave spider, fell a massive way down and actually died in some lava, which was which was fantastic. It wasn't actually the drop or anything that killed us, and it wasn't that actual entrance that we're at now where this all unfolded. It was actually at one of the branch mines that we were doing. We stumbled across it, but this was a really optimal time. Now we were a bit more sort of heavily armored, and we had some good weapons on us as well. Good amount of resources to sort of see us through the worst of this. So the idea was, now, we sort of came across it again. I wasn't intending to go into the mine shaft, but I figured, we're a bit better off this time. Let's go and have a look around and see if there's anything of interest. Mine shafts can be a bit hit and miss, I've discovered, where you can sometimes see, sometimes you can get pretty good loot. Sometimes it can be a bit off, some parts can be hidden and you can't see them. But as you can see in this chest, we got some pretty good loot out of there as well. We got some rails, which will definitely be helpful, and alongside that as well, some other bits and bobs. It was actually quite good that we were able to replenish the torches because we were running very, very low on those. In fact, I actually think we ran out of torches, which is not an ideal situation. So that was very helpful as well. But the idea was here just to kind of have a bit of an explore around, see what's going on in this mine shaft. Mine shafts, although it's the same sort of base structure, they are all constructed differently and at random. So it's always quite fun. When you get a chance to see a mine shaft or a stronghold, even things like ocean monuments as well, because their means of construction, is always a little bit different from the last one. They're never built exactly the same, and so I suppose the same goes for woodland mansions as well on that front. But yeah, so this was very exciting here. So what we're going to do is just going to speed it up a little bit and just sort of explore, and see what we found during this time. So sit back again, guys, and enjoy this moment. Okay guys, so after doing the mine shaft there, it decided it was now time to see if it was possible for us to transport our villagers from the village that we left our nether portal at, and to see if by any chance we could transport them back. This was a painfully long process, but It's definitely a lot of progress that we made in this, and it's going to be another time. That's just because it was quite a lengthy process getting all the rails and getting all the resources and kind of judging how much resource we were going to need. But trust me, there are some I don't know how best to word it. Probably some interesting bits coming up. So do stick around and see how we get on. We'll see you soon. Alright, so that was pretty painful, to be fair. I'm sure from yourself watching it, you probably realised that it was, but comparatively to what we're about to see, which was getting the villagers onto the minecart to actually go across the rails, is a totally another story. It was visibly frustrating to try and get this to work. I've done this successfully before, but I don't know what was wrong with these villagers. They were very, very reluctant. They were not keen to get in the minecart, or at least in this particular instance here, the minecart wasn't very keen on actually doing what it's built to do. So, after getting this villager in question onto a minecart, things, they seem to go pretty well. This guy, he's cruising along. He's enjoying himself. He's had a long day. It's now time to journey onto his new home here. Things seem to be going pretty well pretty quickly. I actually ran out, I believe, of redstone torches close to the end of this. So as you can see here, we're trying to bump this guy across. He does go down, and things do start moving. And I forgot here that we had no redstone torches, and this is around the time I think that I run out, and coincidentally we run out of redstone torches right at the very, very top of this hill, which you will see in a minute, but thankfully it doesn't prove to be too much of an issue. So yeah, let's see how things go with this villager, and subsequently every villager thereafter. So after a very tiresome time of getting this villager across the rails, I figured, yes, we've gotten him through the portal. Then he disappeared, and I remembered the minecarts actually can't go through through Nether portals, so we had to go back. We had to make sure he was obviously sort of properly blocked in as well, I guess, so that he couldn't really escape. But I figured that he'd just go sort of walking straight into that portal. We brought him back. He was here. We got him into a boat, as you will see it very shortly. Once that horrible lag disappeared, we put him in a boat, and I figured, right, that's great. We have finally gotten a villager over here. And I figured, what, it's time to go and get some more villagers. So I stocked up on some food and other bits as well, and then we would continue. Also, I thought, Now, after coming straight back from a break that I took shortly after bringing that villager back, I figured, you know what, yep, it's time to go back to the portal. Let's go and get another villager, and then we can bring them back and we can move both of them into the village into the trader hall thing or building or whatever it is at the same time. I get back over there to find this skeleton sitting in there, and I thought to myself, oh my god. It got to night time when I was on a break. I came back. It was now the early morning, and we have now lost our villager. That is painful. It's a horrible, horrible time, because it means that I have to go and do all of this again, not only once, but a second time as well on that front. But you know what? I decided to keep positive. I figured, you know, we did this. You know, we've already done it once. We've done the hard work, which is getting those rails lined out. All we have to do is just simply get 2 villagers across from their village over to ours. Can it be so hard? Well, it turns out that the answer to that question would be a big fat yes. The reason being for that was because when we got to this point here of getting this second villager to the portal, I had been actively trying to get a villager in this village for about 20 minutes, and we managed to get him up here finally through a use of a piston and a lever. Got him into a boat on a lower level and brought him up that way, for us to then come through the portal to find that a creeper had somehow gotten through and then subsequently decided to blow up our nether portal, which is an absolute pain in my bum. And with that happening as well, of course, obviously we broke the boat as well, because I wanted to try and save the villager. Villager got out, decided to go and have a nice little wander. I end up obviously trying to chase him down, and it took absolutely ages to even consider him getting back in the boat. But once we did do that, it was time to reuse the pistons and the levers as well. And what's going to happen next will give you a bit of an idea as to the outcome. Put that there. Oh, don't even start, Ghast. Right, that is it. Wow. Yep, that was one of the things. Our guy back home. Come on the minecart, on the minecart. No, he missed it. Come here, you idiot. We were only just getting started. I can just feel it. No, no, go away. Go, come on villager. Go, go, go. We need to get you home. To your new home. Get up the hill. There we go. Now we're moving. Go on. We're moving now. You're telling me. You're telling me, Robbie, it is stressful to do. Go. On your way. Come on. We're almost onto the first set of powered rails. There we go. He's starting. This will get him up most of this hill. And it will stop him up there, because this is where the powered rail ends. Then we have to do a little bit more unpowered, because I don't have enough golden kits to power all these rails at the moment. No, absolutely not. I want to die. Ghasts, I hate ghasts. Yeah, so that was pretty much the brunt of it there. We had spent so long trying to get that villager. It took so long trying to get him into that cart, and for it all to end by a ghast. And as I'm sure you probably noticed from earlier on in the video as well, the ghasts have really played quite a vital part in, you know, kind of destroying this whole plan of getting villagers across. They just seem to keep popping up out of nowhere and basically trying to just kill us off at every available instance. So, to be honest, at this point, I soon realised that it probably was maybe time that I kind of did this sort of thing off camera. you know, if we had a village that was a lot closer to us, we could have obviously had a nether portal that was a lot closer to our home nether portal, and it would have been a much easier thing. But with this portal being so far away, you know, it was one thing to get all the rails set up to move it across, but there's so many other factors that you just have to take into consideration. You know, like ghasts, for example, they can pop up pretty much at any time, and they can cram into really small spaces as well, so they can just pop up on you and you won't have any idea about it. And things like that, just you can't really sort of work around. And I didn't really want to bore my viewers with, you know, with constantly trying to get more and more villagers. So it was something that I ended up deciding to do off cam. But yeah, hopefully this sort of gives you an idea as to the sort of the painstaking process that this encompassed. You know, actually trying to get these villagers across to our village. But yeah, that was that. But thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this content, please do drop us a subscription, a like, and of course, as always, turn that notification bell on. And I will be uploading as frequently as I can. I also do stream this live as well, so if you do want to tune in for the live versions of this, head over to twitch.tv/FunkyGarvantula. If you want to drop me a message at all, my Twitter handle is @FunkyGarvantula. But as always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.